A warm welcome to all of you. Today we will learn about matrix function in R programming. Now, what is the basic difference between vector and matrix? Vector, it is a one-dimensional array of similar data elements, whereas matrix, it is a two-dimensional array of similar data elements. Both matrix and vector can have one atomic vector type only. Matrices in R are objects in which elements are arranged in two-dimensional rectangular format. That is what? Rows and columns. Matrix can only have homogeneous element type. So matrix can only have homogeneous element type. So matrix can be created using matrix function. So the matrix can be created using the matrix function over here. The basic syntax of matrix is a matrix followed by open bracket and closed bracket, the data and the number of rows in the matrix need to be specified, and the number of columns in the matrix should be specified, and the by rows and the dimension names. So a matrix function comprises of data, number of rows, number of columns, is it a by row equal to true or false, and dimension names. Now let's create a matrix in R programming. Now here I would like to create a one variable. Here I would like to create a one matrix variable by the name of P. So the object of the matrix name is P. So a P variable followed by a left assignment operator and the matrix function. Inside of the matrix function, we will see a vector. A vector comprises of a sequence of numbers from 3 to 14, and the number of rows in the matrix should be 4, and by rows equal to true stands for I want to arrange the elements in the matrix in the row format. So I want to arrange the elements in the matrix in the row format, not in the column format. So if I run this if I execute this code, so I want to execute this code. So now I executed this code. Now I created a matrix variable by the name of P. So I want to print this matrix variable explicitly. So how I can able to print this matrix variable, a print P. If I execute this, you can see here a matrix. The matrix includes a sequence of numbers from 3 to 14, and the number of rows in the matrix were 4, and by row equal to true. So because in this matrix, the elements are arranged in row format, but not in column format. See here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this tells that by row equal to true. So the total number of rows in this matrix are 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the sequence of elements includes with the help of a vector operation, a vector function, I've taken a sequence of values in the matrix from 3 to 14. So that is how we can able to create a matrix with the help of a matrix function in R programming. Now the next concept, what I would like to discuss about accessing the elements in the matrix at various positions. Suppose in the created matrix P, I would like to access, I want to know what is the element of first row and third column. So I want to access the element. I want to know what is the element in first row and in third column. So the code will be written like this. We can able to print explicitly with the help of a print function. So the variable followed by the brackets, and 1, 3 stands for row and column, first row and third column. So I want to run this. So in first row, third column, the element is 5. So what is the second row and the second column element? It is, you can run this. So 7. So same likewise, you can print in the third row, in the third column, the element, it is 11. So here in first and second rows, from first and second rows, so this particular code will explains about from first and second rows, what are the third elements. So how we can able to write a code in the sense a print followed by bracket and the variable P, and the square brackets need to be opened, which includes a C function. A 1, 2 stands for a first row and second row. In the third column, elements are obviously we will check. So 5 and 8. So from this you can see here, from first row and second row, the third column elements are 5 and 8. 5 and 8. So I want to execute this code. So this is what my matrix basically. Now, if I want to print from my matrix the total second row elements, the total second row elements. So the total second row elements are 6, 7, 8. You can see here the total second row elements. So how we can able to run in the sense 2, 2 and comma. So the 2 stands for row and comma stands for column. I don't want to print anything related to the comma. I don't want to print anything related to the column values. So if I want to print from the matrix P, what are the elements in third column? So I don't want to print the elements in related to the row. I want to print the elements related to the only third column related elements. So you can print like this. So the same likewise, I can print the elements in third column. So for calling the position and its related elements from a matrix, we will use square brackets. We will use a square brackets. So we can run this. So we can see here the total second column elements are, the total second column elements are 4, 7, 10 and 13. So 4, 7, 10 and 13. So now here I would like to create one more matrix by the name of Q. So I created a variable Q with the help of a left assignment operator followed by a matrix function. A matrix function includes a C function from a sequence of values from a 14 to 25. So number of rows in the matrix were 4. So by rows equal to 2. I want to arrange. I want to put the elements in the matrix in row format. So execute the code and print the matrix. So here you can see 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So the by row equal to 2 stands for, so whatever the elements that we are expecting in our matrix from 14 to 25, it has to be arranged in the row format but not in column format. Suppose if we eliminate by row equal to true, totally, if we eliminate this particular operation over here, automatically the elements will be printed in column format. So I want to print this matrix. So okay, this is what the matrix, a Q matrix that I have been created. Now what I would like to do is I want to perform the arithmetic operations between two different matrices. So here plus, minus, division and multiplication. So I want to add two different matrices. Here I'm having two different matrices, P matrix and Q matrix. I want to add elements in the two different matrices. So we need to keep in our mind, the dimension of the two different matrices should be the same. So I print this. So you can see here the elements in the two different matrices were added. The same likewise, I want to subtract two different matrices. So I want to subtract P and Q matrices with the minus operation. So here you can see. So I want to divide P and Q matrices. So I want to explicitly print this. So if you execute this particular code, that is what will happen. Now the next operation, I want to multiply the elements in both matrices. So how I can able to multiply the elements in both matrices? So when I multiply the elements in two matrices, the output will be like this. So here we can able to perform the arithmetic operations between two different matrices with the help of arithmetic operators. Now, the next concept, what I'm going to explain is two different functions in matrices, row bind and column bind. Suppose I want to bind a particular row in the existing matrix, or I want to bind a particular column in the existing matrix. So if I want to add any row or any column in the existing matrix, we need to use a particular function. We call it as row bind and column bind function. Suppose here, from row bind, with the help of row bind function, in the matrix P, I would like to add a row from the sequence of numbers from 15 to 17. So a row includes 15, 16, and 17. So I want to execute this. So here you can see one more new row, it's being added. One more new row, it's being added over here with the elements of numeric values which comprise of 15, 16, and 17. Right. So the same likewise, if I want to add one more column to the existing matrix, so we need to use a function, we call it as a cbind. So the way how we need to write the code over here, cbind function followed by a P matrix, and the elements, whatever I want to bind in the form of column, which includes from 15, 16, and 17. Suppose if I execute this, right? Now I want to, right? See here, the elements it's being added in the fourth column, 15, 16, and 17 and 15. So likewise, we can able to combine two different kinds of operations with the help of two different functions, row bind and column bind. Now what I would like to do is next concept